Guys, come on in for episode number 3. And today we're going to talk about cleaning Apple Watch bands and just a little bit other general kind of stuff. So when you have Apple Watch bands, you either have the silicone ones. Apple has their crazy name for it. You have fabric, and then you kind of have the metal, and then you have leather, and you have their special like fine woven. We're going to talk today about fabric and silicone, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the like higher end bands and how we protect from people buying and returning something completely different. So the first thing we're going to talk about is kind of fabric bands. These are the sport loops. They come in multiple sizes, and then they have the Velcro. So what we do in order to clean these is we wash these. We get like we have kind of like a shoe bag. They're the fabric shoe bags or a hat bag or something like that. We load them all in there, and then we use unscented laundry detergent. That way you're not getting any smell. They usually they come out perfect. And then we sort them by grading. So we either do an A grade, we do a B grade, and then sometimes we do a C grade. So an A grade is going to be, it's almost like you're getting a brand new watch band. It's going to look good. It's going to look clean. And then a B grade could have a little bit of fraying. It could have a little bit of staining. We're going to list that in, or we're going to put that in the listing. So in the listing, we're going to say, yeah, this is a B grade, just to let you know. And it's good for people that care less about, they care more about functionality, where like, they're a runner or something like that, and a little bit of staining isn't really going to do anything. And then C grade is going to have a little bit more fraying to it. It's going to look kind of beat up. The Velcro might be worn down a little bit. And we're going to heavily discount. These sell for $50. For the most part, we sell most of these for about 20, 15 to 20, then it goes down to like 15, and then the lowest ones we sell for 11 or 12 bucks. That's going to be your C grade, but when you think about it, that's a really heavy discount. So the other kind are going to be the silicone bands. They get dirty, and it's not dirt like regular dirt or sweat or things like that. It's actually from them being against like fabric. You see a lot where they turn blue. With the Nike ones, the main thing that you see is it's actually like when the Nike are two-tone. So it might have a white front, it has all the holes, and it has a black back. When that black back rests on here, it actually stains the white part of the band. We tried everything in order to try and clean these, and what we found was that acetone, basic nail polish remover, was the best thing to use. So we buy this in bulk. We buy it by the gallon. We get usually 4 of these. It is flammable. It is also, it can take off writing, so protect yourself. It's fine on the skin. Your skin gets a little like cloudy or whatever, but just wash your hands afterwards. And then we use a microfiber cloth. The key thing with cleaning these is the writing that is on an Apple Watch band. So it either says small, medium. On the Nike bands, it says Nike, or on the top it says assembled in China. It also has the sizing. So either a 38, a 40, a 41, a 42, a 44, a 45, 46, or 49. If you put the acetone on there, it is going to take it off. So we always avoid rubbing that area. So what I usually do is kind of clean around it. So if you look at this one, it has some staining on it, kind of in this middle part. And then on the back, it has some staining here and some staining along the edges. And all we do is we have basically a dispenser. We're going to put some on there, decent amount, and we're going to rub. And you can rub hard. And what it does is it feels like it takes off a finish because they actually kind of flatten out, but after you feel it, it feels just like silicone. So that cleaned that perfectly. Again, you get like another little mark there. We're gonna pull that right off. And sometimes you really have to scrub them. Also, if the microfiber gets dirty, I usually switch it to another spot and then do it again. Especially on like the Nike ones where it's white and black. The black actually will start getting taken off and go onto the white. So you kind of have to do your first one, then you have to do like a second pass to like just clean it up. So let's do the back here. And again, we're avoiding the lettering or the numbering on the top there. Now I'm going to show you, because even on this one, I usually do up here, I do up there, because that usually stays dirty. It traps dirt. There's a little bit of green here. Now, even though I did this one and I rubbed it, I'm rubbing it really hard. There is still a slight tint of yellow, and that is not going to come off. So we do our best to get it as clean as possible, but these things like suck up the staining, which is annoying, but not many people know that you can do this, and so you can at least give it some new life. The last thing I want to talk about is our security tags, and I'll do some shorts on this as well, but one thing that we do to protect usually watch bands that are over $30 is we put a security tag on. And the reason for that is we get people, this happens more than you think, that will buy a watch band and return something completely different. And there's little to no protection from eBay on that. They'll say, you can give back 50%. But then we lose out on 50%. And a lot of these that we're buying are both expensive, we're paying for shipping, and then also sometimes they're hard to get because once they're discontinued, they're harder to get. So what we have implemented is a security tag system. I'm going to show you on just a cheap watch band here. But what we do is we take, it's a special green wire. We know it's our green wire, so that way you can't switch it out for some other green wire. And we loop it through, and then we put the two pieces together, and then we have these green security tags, and they're numbered. We don't really track the numbers, but we don't really need to. And you put it through, and these are for, usually they're for meters, like gas meters or water meters. So it's a tamper resistant. So once that is in there, that wire is not coming out. Now to ship, this is extra bulky. So what we do is we typically break off the one piece and we break off the second piece, and then it makes it a lot thinner. Now we've found that when we ship in these, it sometimes bursts through this. So what we've been doing lately is we've been doing them in cardboard because it will not burst through the cardboard. But once you get it in there, it's pretty flat. But again, that protects us. So when the customer gets this in the mail, they're still able to try it on. That's kind of the thing that I wanted to make sure. So you can still try it on. You can still try it on. It still slides into your Apple Watch, and you can still try it on. And then once you say, you know what, I like it, I want to keep it, you can either take scissors, and we leave enough slack on there to cut, either scissors or nail clippers, clip the thing off. But once you clip it off, you can't really return it. So that's kind of how we've implemented that. We also put that information all on our green piece of paper, which I talked about in the last video. It just kind of explains everything. It goes over everything. Again, it goes over authenticity and everything like that. So that's the video for today. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm going to keep on putting out this content. We're going to talk about all sorts of new things. I just want to keep on building this education, keep on building what I'm doing here, because I think it's really interesting, but I think it's great for other sellers to come up with certain things like this to just kind of protect yourselves and provide that great customer feedback, that great customer service. So thanks a lot for watching, and have a great day.